15 years ago, I divorced my ex-husband, Daniel, because he cheated on me with his childhood friend and even had a child with her. After the divorce, I was harassed by his mistress and eventually had to resign from my job. My current husband rescued me from rock bottom, and we've built a happy, peaceful family life together. But that peace was short-lived. After 15 years, I unexpectedly ran into my ex-husband who had abandoned me. You're still single, right? Nobody would want a barren woman like you, huh? You're still good at being unpleasant as ever. Like someone, my son looks like his mom and is so cute. As my smug ex-husband looked down on me, I replied, "Oh, really? He must be adorable. Oh, that reminds me, I should introduce you to my children." When I introduced my son, Daniel's smile faltered and he began to tremble. "Oh, that reminds me, I should introduce you to my children." When I introduced my son, Daniel's smile faltered and he began to tremble. "My name is Kathy Harrington. I am 38 years old this year. I live with my 13-year-old son, Sean, my 11-year-old daughter, Mia, and my husband, Ben, who is the same age as me." Sean, a middle school first year, is in the midst of his rebellious phase. He's been quite cheeky lately, but when he gets too out of line, Ben steps in and sets him straight. Mia, my daughter, loves makeup and fashion. She's the youngest and quite skilled at getting her way. Sean adores his sister and panics when Mia threatens, "If you're not nice to Mom, I'll start disliking you." Sorry. Look, I'll get along with Mom, okay?" He quickly panicked. He's straightforward and always brings life to our home. Despite the chaos, we live happily. I am actually a divorcee, remarried to Ben after my ex-husband's despicable betrayal. 15 years ago, Daniel and I were university seniors and juniors, with many mutual friends. Our relationship seemed blessed and promising. Soon after we got married, we started talking about having children. I wish we could have kids soon, and it would be nice to dress them in matching outfits, we would say. Both of us really wanted children. However, reality didn't go as smoothly, and a year passed without us having a child. Each month, as my period arrived, our relationship grew tense. Neither my husband nor I were happy about it, so we had numerous discussions, paid for expensive treatments, and searched for the cause of the infertility. But we were told there was nothing abnormal, and our marital harmony didn't improve. In the beginning, my husband was encouraging and cooperative. However, as time went on without a pregnancy, he seemed to grow frustrated and his attitude towards me changed. He would say things like, "When will I ever become a father?" in a loud, sarcastic tone. It was as if he had decided that I was to blame for our inability to have children. He stopped helping with household chores, pushing all the cooking, cleaning, and laundry onto me. When I asked him, "Hey, why did you suddenly stop helping with household chores? You used to help out," he replied, "Since you're infertile, you at least need to do the housework. Without that, you're not fulfilling your role as a woman, and there's no point in being married." His words became increasingly hurtful over time. My sister and her husband are already expecting their second child. It's great, right? They're on their second, and we don't even have one. Right? He looked at me with scorn and mockery. If you had a normal body, I would have been a father long ago. How can you say that when we don't even know the cause? Why are you so sure it's my fault? Daniel replied, "Infertility is always the woman's fault. Don't you even know that? If I had known you were infertile, I would never have married you. You should feel guilty about it." My husband's words pierced my heart like thorns. Additionally, calls from my in-laws started coming in, saying, "We really want to see our grandchild soon." At first, I tried to brush off their concerns, saying, "It's only been a year, after all, children are a blessing." However, this approach might have backfired, as my mother-in-law's attitude towards me became harsher. She started saying, "You're useless for not being able to have children. My other daughter-in-law had them right away. You're the only defective one." This left me feeling pressured every day. One day, my friend Emma invited me out for drinks. Daniel was often busy with overtime at work, so I decided to take a break and accept her invitation. Then, Emma revealed a shocking truth to me. "I've been wanting to see you. There's something I need to talk to you about, Kathy." "I've wanted to see you too." "What is it that you want to talk about?" "Do you remember Anna, Kathy?" Anna was my husband's childhood friend. They grew up near each other and their parents were close. Anna attended the same university as us and now works at the same company as me. She is the daughter of my company's president and got her job through family connections. Anna and I were never close, not in university and not at the company, as we work in different departments. Daniel once introduced me to her saying, "She's my girlfriend, so be nice to her." But Anna's sharp glances made me feel disliked, so I tried to avoid her as much as possible. She was slim and very beautiful, popular enough to be in beauty pageants in university, and somewhat of a celebrity in our company as the president's daughter. Anna? Oh. Daniel's childhood friend? I know her, she's beautiful. We work at the same company but hardly interact. What about her? It's hard to say, but I think your husband Daniel and Anna are having an affair. What? I was struck by the shock of Emma's unexpected warning. I saw them the other day, walking hand in hand. It didn't seem like just a friendly atmosphere. No way. I think you should check it out. Call me anytime if you need to talk, okay? Thanks for letting me know. I had suspected Daniel was cheating. His attitude toward me was terrible. He always came home late claiming overtime. And he was never home on weekends, citing business meetings. I had a vague awareness of it, but I had been pretending not to notice. That day, after parting ways with Emma, I headed straight to a detective agency. The reason was, of course, to gather evidence of my husband's infidelity. Evidence came together quickly within a week, but I myself was not immediately ready to divorce. Despite everything, he was someone I had once vowed to spend my life with. I couldn't decide right away. A few days later, I returned home to find Daniel, who was usually late, sitting at the dining table. "Oh, you're home."
Yeah.
"I thought you'd be late again today." I said it with a hint of sarcasm. "Right. I'm sorry. I need to talk to you." Having heard about the affair from Emma, I had a bad feeling. "I want a divorce." "What? So that's how it is." I realized that this man wasn't just playing around with Anna, he was serious. "Anna is pregnant. I'm going to marry her." "Anna, your childhood friend? You said she was just a friend. And now she's pregnant. Were you having an affair?" "Oh, don't call it an affair. Makes me sound like a scumbag." "It couldn't be helped, right? Anna can actually get pregnant and she's beautiful. There's no reason for me to choose you over her." I was shocked by Daniel's blatant attitude. He didn't think he was in the wrong at all. I was so shocked that I couldn't find the words to speak. Seeing me silent, Daniel let out a snort and said, "My mom has been nagging me to divorce you as well. She says Anna is prettier, kinder, and can have children. She always loved Anna anyway. This will make her happy too." In the end, both my mother-in-law and husband preferred Anna from the beginning. I was so sad that tears overflowed. "Well, I've already packed my things, so I'll be leaving. I need to get back early for the child that's on the way." Saying this, my husband left the house. I didn't have the energy to stop him. Later, a divorce paper was sent to me unilaterally. There was a note written by a woman slipped in with it. Please divorce my husband as soon as possible. The irony of those words made a question mark appear over my head. I wanted to retort, hey, you're the one who stole my husband. Seeing that note, I finally snapped back to reality. Why am I the one being blamed? I couldn't just silently go through with this divorce. I took the evidence I had gathered from the detective agency and filed for divorce mediation. A few days after my application, I received a call from an unknown number. Wondering who it could be, I answered the phone. A woman's voice, furious, lashed out, "What do you think you're doing? Why are you taking this to court?" It was Anna, Daniel's affair partner. Well, isn't it obvious? I'm fully aware of the infidelity you both committed. It's only natural that I claim compensation. Compensation. I have a baby in my belly. How can you be so heartless at a time when I need money the most? Who's the real monster here? You seduced a married man and now you dare to blame me. It's your fault for being infertile, you awful woman. Her shrill voice was painful to my ears. Anyway, I intend to discuss the divorce, including compensation, in an official setting. Let's continue this conversation in court. I ended the call. In the mediation, Daniel and Anna's relationship was recognized as infidelity. Daniel, dissatisfied, tried to blame my infertility by hiring a lawyer. But it was absurd to declare infertility as a cause when we had only been married a year and no medical results confirmed it. From Daniel, I received $20,000 in compensation, and from Anna, $10,000. I wanted to avoid a prolonged connection, so I insisted on lump sum payments. This is how our divorce was finalized. However, my suffering didn't end there. Daniel, Anna, and I had attended the same university. And the affair became a hot topic among many friends. Some sympathized with Daniel and Anna, believing the rumor that I had hidden my infertility before marriage. That's terrible. At work, where Anna and I were colleagues, rumors also spread. People sided with Anna, the beautiful president's daughter. She tearfully portrayed herself as a victim, saying, "Kathy is so awful. She's taking money from me when I'm about to have a baby." Even though she hid her infertility. Initially, I tried to ignore it, but since Anna was the president's daughter, my superiors would scold me, saying, "Don't be unpleasant to Miss Anna." No matter how hard I worked, I was progressively excluded from major projects. Eventually, I resigned due to the mental strain. I was looking for a new job when another company offered to headhunt me. "We want someone diligent and talented like you," they said. In my new workplace, I was surprised at how freely I could work. My boss was attentive to each employee, and there was no favoritism like in my previous company. I found myself drawn to this wonderful boss. He was Ben, my current husband. He supported me gently when I was at my lowest after the painful separation from my ex-husband. We started dating after sharing meals and personal stories. Our relationship went well, and thankfully, Ben proposed. However, having been left by my ex-husband due to infertility, I had many insecurities about marriage and confessed my fears of being infertile. Ben looked at me seriously and said, "Of course, I'd be happy if we could have children together. But the most important thing is, I love you, Kathy. You are precious to me. So even if we can't have children, I will always be by your side." He embraced me gently. I was truly happy. I decided to marry Ben, believing I wanted to spend my life with him. Shortly after our marriage, we welcomed our first child, a son named Sean. Soon after, our daughter Mia, our second child, was born. Perhaps the reason I didn't conceive with my ex-husband was due to timing or compatibility issues. Raising children is challenging, but these are happy days. One day, I attended a friend's wedding. As the ceremony reached its midpoint and guests mingled during the greeting and chatting time, I stood up to head to the restroom. That's when I saw Daniel, my ex-husband who had left me 15 years ago. Gosh. What's he doing here? For a moment, I was in a panic, my mind went blank. It made sense, and though the wedding was for a university friend, it was understandable that my ex-husband was there. Trying to pass by unnoticed, I was stopped in my tracks when he called out loudly, "Hey. Sigh. What do you want?" Daniel, seemingly drunk, spoke loudly and spat while talking. "You haven't changed." Still unpleasant. I added silently in my mind. Then my ex-husband called over his family. There stood Anna and their son. Anna, seeing me, laughed and said, "Wow, long time no see. Have you gained weight?" "Stress eating, maybe?" "A lot must have happened, huh? I bet the infertile woman still can't find anyone, right?" I was so appalled by their rudeness that I was speechless. I noticed their son looking down, his face flushed with embarrassment. He had a very beautiful face. I forgot to introduce him. "This is my son. Cute like Anna, right?" Anna, standing proudly beside her son, boasted about him. "He's handsome, smart, a genius. Sorry we're the only ones so happy here, huh?" The ex-couple laughed smugly, looking down on me, while their son looked distressed, seemingly unhappy with his parents' behavior. He must be a really kind child, I thought. But I didn't have time to waste on them. Just as I was about to leave, Daniel grabbed my arm to stop me. "After causing our divorce because of your infertility, you dared to take money from us?" Daniel still seemed to hold a grudge over something that happened 15 years ago. But I was the one who should be holding a grudge. Then Anna also turned to me and said, "Exactly. Why does a single infertile woman like you need money? Families with children, like us, need it more. Return double the money you took back then." I was speechless at her selfishness when Sean, standing beside me, began to speak. "Single means someone who isn't married, right? But she's wearing a wedding ring on her left hand." Pointed out by Sean, Daniel and Anna stared at my left ring finger. You got married." Their loud voices attracted stares from the other guests. I was mortified. Just then, I noticed familiar faces approaching. "Aunt and uncle, it's rude to raise your voice at such a celebratory occasion. Maybe you should be more considerate of others around you." "Mommy, who are these scary-looking people?" "Sean." "Mia." Sean and Mia, concerned about my late return, had come to check on me. Mia, as usual, was blunt with her thoughts, and it was rare for Sean to be so confrontational. "Mommy, you're late. Let's go home." "What? Kathy, you have kids?" "Yes, I do." "Let me introduce them. This is my son Sean and my daughter Mia." Daniel appeared stunned, unable to speak, seemingly shocked that his ex-wife, whom he thought was infertile, had 2 children. Anna was staring intensely at my son, scrutinizing him. After a while, she muttered in a hoarse, strained voice, "That uniform." She seemed to be fixated on Sean's outfit. "Oh, Sean came straight after school with Ben, so he's still in his uniform." "Not that. That's the uniform from that famous private middle school." "Huh? Oh, Sean worked hard and wanted to try for it. So we let him take the entrance exam. He passed and has been attending that private school since this year." Indeed, my son excelled in studies and attended a renowned school in the area. No way. That can't be. Your son couldn't. And my daughter, Mia, plans to take the entrance exam for the same school next year. That's right. And you know, my brother is amazing. He won a violin competition. Violin. I thought I recognized this boy, wasn't he on TV recently? Yes. He's been getting a lot of media attention lately. He was coming back from violin practice today. No, it can't be. This is a lie. Anna and ex-husband were standing with their mouths agape, completely frozen. But you were supposed to be infertile. How could you have kids like this? I calmly addressed Daniel's confusion. I'm glad to see you two are doing well. As you can see, I'm also filled with happiness. Please, let's not involve each other in our lives anymore. We have no relationship now. Just as I was about to leave with my children, my husband Ben arrived. Hey. What's going on here? The main event is about to restart. Seeing Ben, Daniel's face turned pale.
Ha!
President Harrington. What? Seeing my husband's face, Anna turned pale and her voice quivered. Your husband is President Harrington of S Corporation? In fact, my husband Ben worked as the president of a parent company of Anna's father's company. He was headhunted while job searching, and after joining the company, he met me. Ben, who was already popular and competent, was appointed president last year on the recommendation of the previous president. Yes, I'm Ben Harrington, but what's this atmosphere? What happened? Sensing the tension, Ben looked puzzled. Sean then spoke up. These people were saying mean things about Mom, calling her infertile and fat, so Mia and I came to help her. You heard that. Sean and Mia had overheard the ex-couple's derogatory remarks. That explained Sean's earlier confrontational demeanor. You two are those people from the rumors? Realizing who they were, Ben's expression turned stern. I had heard rumors, but I didn't expect such a lack of decency. Then Daniel suddenly started making excuses to Ben. No, I mean, President Harrington. I would never say anything bad about your wife, right? Right, Anna. Why are you acting so submissive? He's just this woman's husband. I was humiliated by your wife and had to pay her money for the affair. My father was furious with me. I'll never forgive her for this. Anna. What are you saying? If we offend him, our subcontracting company is finished. Think about it. Seeing Ben, the president of the parent company, Daniel and Anna, displeased by their predicament, began arguing with each other. It was almost laughable. Then, the son of Daniel and Anna, who had been quiet until now, suddenly shouted. Stop it, both of you. I've been listening, and both Mom and Dad are being terrible. Saying she's fat and infertile, then demanding money back. I'm embarrassed. What even is an affair? Was I born from an affair? Am I an unwanted child? His voice quivered with tears, and Daniel and Anna started to fumble for words. I mean, well. Noticing the surrounding guests staring at us, Anna's face turned red with embarrassment. Although I still can't forgive Daniel and Anna, their son seemed like a fine, morally upright child. This child had nothing to do with their actions. I was about to console him, but Ben spoke first. Thank you for defending my wife from their insults. You truly are a kind child, he said, patting the boy's head. I then spoke to him with a smile. But maybe I am getting a bit chubby. That's not true. Actually, I'm pregnant. My belly's been growing. See? I rubbed my belly to show him. I was, in fact, pregnant with our third child and currently on maternity leave. Seeing the boy's eyes fill with tears, I reassured him. Your mom also carried you in her belly, taking care of you very carefully. You're not an unwanted child. Your mom and dad love you and are proud of you, right? I looked at Daniel and Anna, and the boy asked them, really? They quickly nodded, reassuring their son, yes, yes. You're our pride and joy. Seeing their child smile again, I felt relieved. Let's all go back to our seats. Today is a day of celebration, after all. With that, each family returned to their seats, and the tense moment ended. As the wedding ended and we headed to the station, Daniel, Anna, and their son approached us, holding hands. Sean and Mia, who had been guarding me against the two, were calmed down by Ben's wry smile. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. For everything in the past and today. And thank you for earlier, for our son's sake. It was the first apology I had heard from them in 15 years. Perhaps even people as terrible as them had changed a bit after having a child. It's really too late now. Well then. I said only that and turned away to leave. Sean offered to carry my bag, holding the one with the maternity mark. Mia draped her jacket over my shoulders. Even as children, they were considerate of their pregnant mother. All right. How about Dad's homemade hamburgers for dinner tonight, the kids' favorite?
Yay!
Thank you. With a vow to protect the smiles of my beloved family, I walked away from the painful memories of the past.